Hello and welcome to Let's Talk, stream in which we talk. That's crazy, right? We've got a few topics to speak about today. EGX cosplay, inbound, sort of a warrior thing I'll be doing. We'll talk about that, show you that. My recent history with exercise, which has been pretty messy recently, let me tell you. We're going to be talking a little bit about Overwatch and rank mode coming up, and the Warcraft books. As we did last time, we will be just randomly playing through WoW on our Gooby Dwarf character with his Gooby Bear. I'm looking at him now, he looks ridiculous, man. He's currently level 10 in Dunmorog, and should actually be moving into the next area very quickly, actually. See how that goes. I'm excited about that. So, the new layout isn't going to be anything particularly flashy, I'll warn you now. It's just a way for me to play the game, show the game, but make it obvious it's not the main thing of the stream. To have you guys on screen and just try and keep things off of the gameplay as well. Just a slightly more organized feel. It looks similar to how the weekend streams are done, but right now it's very basic. I made it myself and I want to upgrade it, but testing the waters in this stream. Guys, welcome to the second episode of Let's Talk. I hope you're excited. It's going to be a nice, chill, fun little session here where we talk about a few different topics. I've got a few planned. We're just going to move straight into them. Welcome back to Gooby Dwarf, our dwarf hunter with his companion Gooby Bear. Amazing name work today, guys. Oh my god, I can't believe we came up with such a genuinely unique and clever name. Of course, sarcasm. Alright, let's go. So, where we are in the world is around Ironforge, you know, in the Dunmorog. That's how you've got to pronounce it. And we're heading over to the airfield, which I'm excited about, because in Cataclysm, they reworked the 1 to 60 leveling. Look at this shit, man. Wow. This was an area you could actually sneak your way up to in the original game before Cataclysm, but it wasn't a place you're supposed to be able to get until they added flying, and it was easy, right? But you could get up here if you were smart enough, and you could do that fucking open world parkour, which I really liked. And there was all of these planes and airfields sort of set up here, but nothing was ever there actually working. No quests, nothing. But now, in Cataclysm, they've actually made it a thing. So, having never done this before, having never been up here on a character in Cataclysm, I'm excited to do the questing and see what's actually going on up here. I want to update and upgrade the emotes. I want to get one artist to make, like, all of them. Right now I have, like, a bunch of emotes that, though are good and nice, I mean, thank you, Micki, and I'll get to that in a second. And now they're not as relevant. In fact, most of them, not many people are ever going to use, and it makes complete sense that, you know, they wouldn't, because they're not relevant. Plus, the fact that they were made by different artists and whatnot means that they're very different in their visual style. And they don't really fit together well. So I'm thinking about getting a bunch made by one person and trying to come up with ones that I think will actually be used and of course are relevant right now. It's about time I did that, I think. I'm a Dirty X-Bone player. I wish Xbox would do sales like that. Yeah, I think when it comes to marketing, Steam are very good. We make jokes about it with my friends, but generally Steam isn't a games company anymore. They have Steam, they have their, like, console, and they have generally a lot of things that are working for them right now. And they have no reason, no need to mess with that, to change that. So, they're probably not gonna. And the last game they actually released was Dota 2, and that was, like, at least 3 years ago now. Maybe longer. The nice thing about Steam is that they don't give a shit about competition. They're too solid right now. Exactly. That's a very valid point, isn't it? Steam are so successful and such a juggernaut when it comes to things like this. And as a service, their competition is Uplay and Origin, right? And both of those absolutely suck. So, unlike Sony and Xbox, which sure many people might say, oh, I don't know, Sony seems better right now, which I would agree with. They're still a competition. They still give each other a reason to do better than the other. Whereas Origin and Uplay are just, like, trash compared to Steam. So Steam doesn't really have any valid competition right now. Maybe won't for a while. So they don't really have to up their game. They set the bar, and everyone follows suit right now. I wonder if that will ever change. Will's at the window. Hello. I can't turn the webcam to show you.
Are you live?
Mm-hmm.
Hello!
They can hear you.
Stream chat.
He's at my window.
What are you playing today?
We're doing Let's Talk.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Right now we're just talking about Steam and how it has a monopoly because you play in Origins is pretty bad.
Is Steam still solid?
It started about an hour ago.
Oh!
Oh, new fashion hype. Vanilla fucking armor, dude. Sexy shit. Ooh. It even matches my gun. It's a tunic that matches my gun. Purple with the purple shirt. Disgusting. Disgusting. Your thoughts on the kiwi fruit? Kiwis are amazing, and I haven't had them in a very long time. They're extremely cheap. They're very tasty. They're very good for you. Their minor inconvenience of kiwis is that you have to, like, cut off the top, right? Get a spoon and eat it like an egg or something, which is fine, you know? It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but I prefer when you have, like, a sliced kiwi and you can just, like, eat the slices. That shit's amazing, but I don't know how to get a kiwi, right? And, like, peel it. How do you peel a kiwi? It's like a hairy ball thing. Do you get, like, a peeler and you peel it like you peel, I don't know, a potato? Or is there an actual thing you can do? I've seen some people get a knife, cut off the top, cut off the bottom, and then just like cut it down the sides, and so it's like a shape, a hexagon if you look down on it from a bird's eye angle, and that gets rid of all the skin. But I was wondering if there was like a way to actually legitimately peel it, because that'd be a little bit more convenient. But I fucking love kiwis, and they're amazing in smoothies as well. It gives this really zesty, strong flavor, man. Yes. Kiwis are amazing. Alright, I'm glad we talked about it. Be a real man and eat the kiwi with the skin on it. Did you know, right? Apparently, eating a kiwi with the skin on it is actually really healthy. Like, the skin is very healthy. But what that essentially means is you're eating like a fur ball. That sounds disgusting. It won't taste good and it'll be really gross in your mouth. Why would you ever do that? But apparently it's healthy. Oh my god, the triple knots. That's hideous. Alright. Shave and haircut. We got a new style for this stream, guys. We should change the style every stream, just for fun. Let's start with the main topic, shall we? One of the 4 that I've got prepared. It's exercise. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory on my history with exercise. It's going to be quick. I swear it'll be interesting. I know it sounds like it wouldn't be. We're all nerds here, don't worry. But I think it is, otherwise I wouldn't bring it up. I'm a skinny motherfucker. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm real skinny. And it's always been a thing. Like my family, my generation, the males are tall and thin. Gaining muscle and that type of stuff has never been hard for me. Doing a suitable amount of exercise, whether it's just basics, like, I don't know, a few press-ups and sit-ups and, you know, your basics, has been good, and tone and all that shit's been fine. But gaining weight and actual, like, mass has been really hard for me. And for my family, for my granddad, for my brother, for my dad, we've all had that same issue. But everyone else has managed to get through it, and it hasn't happened for me yet. I'm 23 and I'm still really tall and thin. So what I did is, when I was working full-time in a shitty shop for a few years, is that forced me to be very active. And I hated that job and I hated that life oh so much. And I remember being so angry that I was in that position and upset and just pretty much depressed. Really depressed, because I did not enjoy that job. I was working minimum wage in a shitty random shop, and it sucked so much, dude. It sucked so much. And I remember sort of throwing myself into the work to try and get through it, to try and deal with it. So I would work really, really hard. So instead of just working my own job and doing the bare minimum, what I would end up doing is helping someone else with their job when I'd finish mine. And then essentially, before long, I just started doing 2 people's worth of tasks each day. and helped other people with their own jobs. I would work really fucking hard, and I did it because I really didn't like the job, and I didn't want to have to deal with like sitting there and thinking about how I'm working this job that I hate. And at the end of the day, occasionally I'd find that my bus had just gone and left just before I got there, and I hate the job. I have a horrible day every day, and I was always kind of mad at the end of it every single day. It sucked. So I would just walk, and then I'd start to run. After a full day on my feet working as hard as I could, I would then start running after work until the next bus on that line caught up with me. I would do that like every day. And before long I was running roughly 1 or 2 miles after a full day of work. Just because I really didn't like my job because I was mad. Really dumb reasoning to be doing that kind of exercise. But it doesn't really matter what your reasoning is at the end of the day. If you're doing exercise, that's kind of a good thing. And that was really good for my cardio. Like working really hard, lifting these boxes, doing just, I guess, menial labor work. Working hard each day doing that, right? But then running after it as well. And I would run further and further as the weeks progressed. Eventually I did this for like 6 months plus. And I ended up running about half the way home. So like 3 or 4 miles before the bus would catch up with me. So I was really active. And then eventually it wasn't enough. And I joined a gym. And then I went to the gym like 3 or 4 times a week. On top of working really hard. On top of running every day. And I got in really good shape. I was really happy, let's say, with my shape. Oh, we got a new gun finally. Yeah, so I was in really good shape. You know, I was going to the gym really regularly. I was doing lots of cardio, running, working hard at my job. And though I didn't enjoy my life, my body was in the best shape it had ever been in, by far and away. I felt strong. I felt healthy. And I was pleased with how I looked, you know, with that physical appearance which comes with, you know, having muscle and all that shit, right? And that was while I was working this job for like 2 years. And at one point I started working harder on my YouTube and doing that as a hobby, and it became a second job for me basically. So on top of exercise, I had like this hobby that I was doing, which was YouTube, and occasionally, very rarely, Twitch streams, which were garbage. Wouldn't take those seriously. My life sucked, but my physical shape and my health had never been better. It had never been better, and I was obviously happy with that. But every other aspect of my life besides YouTube that I was doing as a hobby, fucking hated it. Like 90% of my life, I was just hating it. So it was a little bit depressed, I must admit. It was some dark times for me, even if I was healthy and exercising and shit. Just before I started doing YouTube full time and quit my job, I hurt myself. I plateaued in my exercise. I did a lot of exercise very regularly, and at one point I wasn't gaining any muscle. I wasn't getting any bigger. I was eating healthy, but I wasn't really doing like protein related drinks and what's it called, protein powder and shit like that, things to gain mass, as it were, and weight. I wasn't doing any of that. I kept eating the usual diet, which was fine and healthy, and was in good shape, but I wasn't getting bigger. I wasn't getting swole, let's say, and I plateaued. And for about 2 months I was just like the same physical visual appearance, and I was lifting heavy and heavier stuff, and I got sick of it. So instead of starting to eat more protein and starting to eat differently and eating more to have more weight to put on to turn into muscle and get bigger, which is what you're supposed to do, I guess, what I did instead is I started lifting much heavier weights, and it wasn't long before I really hurt myself. There's this fine line when you're exercising and when you're doing like heavy lifting, where it's like there's this fine line where you're unable to tell whether this pain is the kind of pain that's going to lead to strain or the kind of pain that's going to lead to you hurting yourself, is what I'm trying to say. And because I started lifting these really heavy weights and being fucking stupid, I went over that line and really hurt myself, basically, which fucking sucked, let me tell you. It was horrible pain, but I lifted some weights, wasn't feeling alright, but just kept going anyway. And I usually do pull-ups like this. It's quite close, so it's like this kind of movement. And the bar that was in the gym at the time was like really wide, like this wide. And so you'd have to lift yourself up like that. And I'd never done that before. So after lifting heavier weights and doing a heavier routine than I'd ever done before, I then went on this bar that I never noticed was there, that was wider than I'd ever done before, and went for one. And it absolutely fucking killed, dude. It was the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. I can't describe it properly. I couldn't do it justice. Felt like a spike had gone up my neck and into my head, and it was like I felt like I'd been stabbed multiple times in different spots in the head. It was like the worst headache or migraine I'd ever experienced, and it was the kind of pain that left me like literally on the floor after, like just like sat down, like holy shit, what just happened? That was the worst pain I ever felt, right? Yeah, so I did one pull-up, felt this pain, and then I was like, oh, it's just pain. It's part of working out. I'm used to this. And did another, and then did another, and then did another. And I think I did 7 during this worst pain I'd ever felt in my life. I did 7. And then I just fell down and sat down and was like, this was a mistake. My head is ringing. I can't hear anything. I'm feeling the worst pain I've ever felt. It was horrible. And what turned out happened is a muscle here on like my shoulder, like just here. I'd like crammed 2 muscles together in a way that had like knotted them, and that knot was actually attached to the nervous system on my spine. So that was obviously connected to my brain because it goes up your spine and on your brain, and that was causing the pain on my head. But the pain originated from right here. And when I went to the doctors, they were like, I know what you've done. Stand up, turn around. And they touched me on the shoulder, and it was like even worse than the head pain that I felt when I was doing the pull-ups. So it was obviously that. And what it meant was that I couldn't exercise, like, barely at all. No pull-ups, no push-ups, no upper body exercise of any kind. For the next 6 to 7 months, while I'd massage it every day and be really fucking careful until the knot, like, loosened and stopped being knotted, basically, and stopped causing me horrendous pain. That meant I didn't work out for like 7 months. And I obviously deteriorated. My muscles deteriorated massively. And I was very upset. And during this time, I also quit my job. And I started doing YouTube full time. And so what do I do with most of my day, guys? I sit on a chair. I don't ever really stand up for very long. I don't do any form of exercise, which is what I was doing when I was working a full-time job in a labor-based job. And so my exercise went from like 100% every day to 0 or 5%, like once a week, and then once every 2 weeks, once a month. And obviously there was like a massive gap, and I stopped running. And I deteriorated, and I'm back to being a skinny fuck. Dude, I'm back to being a skinny fuck. And that's gone on for, I think, about 2 years now since I quit that job. And I'm nowhere near as strong. Nowhere near at all. And it's not a good thing to say, honestly. It feels really shit to say it. I don't like talking about it. I don't like thinking about it. I'll be honest, like, I feel that concern every time I exercise. In fact, specifically when I do pull-ups now, I'm horrified that I will feel any form of that same pain that I felt when I did those pull-ups. So it's been hard. It's been a wall. And recently when I moved into this place, I told myself, it's been long enough. It's time. Get on with it. Fix the fucking mess you've made and start exercising again. And so I did. I started again. I started with a routine of push-ups, sit-ups, mountain climbers. I go for a little jog and walk very regularly, almost every day right now. And I started doing pull-ups, and I started doing a lot more push-ups and feeling more confident with it. I started with 10 and struggled, then I could do 20, then I could do 30. I've got a dumbbell that I've started using again, and I'm feeling more confident, and I'm feeling better, and I'm fucking really happy about it, right? And then my chest started really hurting. This is about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. My chest started really fucking hurting, and it felt like heart pain, which is fucking concerning, obviously. And I went and saw the doctor about it, and it turns out that I pulled some muscles or damaged my muscles between my ribs on my chest when exercising. So for the second time, I hurt myself while exercising. And do you understand how hard this makes it to exercise, man? It's so horrible to feel unsure if I'm going to fucking hurt myself while exercising. And I want to exercise. I want to improve my health and body. And again, I try and I immediately hurt myself. And what it turns out happened is, even though I set myself these targets and goals and was cautious and slow with what I did, it was way more even still than what I should have been doing. Like, as an example, as a random number, 100 push-ups a day is something that I would do every day. And so to start off with, I started doing like 30 push-ups a day, right? And to me, compared to you doing 100 push-ups and that being common and not pushing myself at all, 30 is nothing, right? 30 wasn't anything. But actually, because I've not exercised properly in, I think it was 2 or 3 years, 30 push-ups a day was way too much. And the pull-ups I was doing and all that, it caused me to hurt myself. And even though it's nowhere near what I used to do, it's still too much in my current pathetic state. And I hurt myself again, man. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to bring it up and talk about it and share my experience with exercise and my history with it, and see what you guys sort of reacted with and how you feel, and if you have any similar stories or how you feel about exercise or what you've done with exercise. Because, you know, I don't really know anyone that's done the similar style I've done and doesn't really have a similar history with exercise as me. So I thought I'd share it. You might want to change up your diet. As an ectomorph, you do need the extra protein to put on any serious muscle. Yeah, it's something that I definitely need to think about and take a serious look at. When it comes to diet, it's something I've never ever once actually paid attention to or focused on. I've never eaten stuff specifically to do with gaining weight and putting on muscle. I've never had a protein shake in my life. It's something I should probably look into. And I've genuinely considered getting like a personal trainer, someone who would manage my diet and answer the questions I might ask and maybe put me on the right track. The issue is, you know, they're pretty fucking expensive. Can't risk anything. Avoid any and all exercise. What? And never eat anything either. I want to go to the gym this week. There's a gym nearby, and just be like, hey, I'm really thin. This has to stop. Give me someone. I'll sign up to the gym. I'll get my personal trainer. I'll eat what you tell me to eat. I'm committed. Let's do it. And we'll see if I can get some good work done with my health. Here it is. Go to the gym. Sign up. Hire a personal trainer. Create a diet. Step 2, create a diet with that personal trainer. Buy it. Stick to it. Step 3, once this is all settled and I've got used to doing this for maybe a month or 2, and maybe I don't need the personal trainer anymore because now I've learned what I need to learn, I don't have to pay someone to tell me what to do, I'll just do it. Maybe sign up for some sort of thing like that, whether it's a martial art, boxing, kickboxing, some sort of way to release tension and testosterone by punching or hitting something. It's always something I've found enjoyable in my life for some reason. And yeah, I could definitely be in better shape. I want to see you lift Smudge as your weight. No, you leave Smudge alone. He's adorable and deserves a pat and pets and tasty food and love, and not to be picked up and lifted and thrown around in a weird way that confuses him. God damn, he's adorable. This year, this upcoming year, we'll be going to EGX, as we have done for the last 4 years, I think. It's crazy. Let's work it out. Yeah, I've been to 3 EGXs, so this will be my 4th EGX in a row. It's currently being held at Birmingham, but basically what it is a convention to go play a bunch of games. Usually there are many games that are coming out soon. We go as a group, a bunch of my friends go, and we meet a lot of viewers who are also at the event, which is great. It's an awesome experience. We see a lot of you guys. We go and have fun, and it gives us an excuse to meet up. Like, for example, Gubiak is Polish and lives in Poland. Duke, he's Finnish. He lives in Finland. We don't ever really get to see these people unless something big is going on. So EGX is our excuse to see each other, to meet up and hang out and have fun as friends in person, which is something we rarely get the chance to do. And people come from all over, from London, North, South England, Scotland, wherever, Ireland. We have a lot of people that come from a lot of different places. We have a lot of people that come from Germany as well. But generally, it's an opportunity to meet friends and viewers and hang out and have a great time. On top of that, there's tons of games to play, lots of games that aren't out yet. There's absolutely tons. Hi, Josh. He can't kill me, by the way, I think. Let me just spit on him. That's Josh's shaman. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity for us to hang out and have some fun and do that kind of thing, right? But also meet viewers, also play a lot of games that are coming out soon and just have a good time with gaming. But we also do go as like a group costume thing very regularly. So the first time that I actually did it, I went as Deathstroke. So I'll show you now. Basically, I had like a full set of SWAT gear that I bought. By the way, Rage just got wrecked in the background. Get wrecked, Rage. I bought a lot of SWAT gear and sort of put it together, a Deathstroke costume, as it were. Bought a lot of different pieces off Amazon and put it together into like a SWAT outfit. And then I also bought this mask, which... it looks good. It does. It looks really nice, especially on my wall there in the background. It looks great. I am very happy with this mask. And it does go on. You can put it on. But the issue was all these pieces of armor, as it were, cost, I don't know, a bit of money. And then this actually cost me, I think it was like £90. And it does look good. And it's well worth that, in my opinion. Sure, they overcharge it because... it's probably like cost them like £10 to make, if that. But they have all the tools and the knowledge to do it, so that's why you pay them the money to do it. And I was really happy with it. But the issue is, it kind of looks like an alien helmet or helm or face. It basically it looks too big. It looks way too big. So as the mask looks cool, when it's on your mask, when it's on your face, it's too big. It doesn't look good at all. And a lot of the time, it meant that I just took it off because it looked stupid. I didn't like it. I was kind of disappointed by that. So I didn't want to do something like that again. I didn't want to half-ass it, basically. I wanted to do a proper thing. And I originally was planning on doing a Twin Blast cosplay, which is a character from Paragon. He looks kind of like me. I could get my hair cut like him. I could... get some foam and make some red robot arms and robot guns, basically. And then I'd be good to go with a black vest top and black jeans. Perfect. Then Varian sent us a bunch of weapons. That was the plan. That was the plan, basically, to do that, to go as Twin Blast at EGX. But Varian, the fucking god, sent us a bunch of weapons for the PO box. And they are LARP weapons. So they're really sturdy and they look really good. Flute got a couple of daggers. Josh got a wizard staff. I got a fucking great sword, and it's the fucking best thing ever, dude. And I wanted something to go with it. We all did. We all wanted a costume or a setup that would actually fit these awesome weapons and actually work with them. So we reworked what our plans were for cosplay and a costume for EGX. We completely flipped on what we were going to do. And now we're going to go as like a D&D group to EGX, right? And so I have the weapon. So what I need from that point, obviously, we needed an armor set to go with it. So Josh has it a little bit easier, I'll be honest with you. What he has is a robe. He's going to get a robe and he's got a staff and he's sorted. He's sorted. That's it. It's just a robe and then he's got his staff and he's done. Will has to get some sort of like, I don't know, leather armor or something to do with that to go with his daggers. He's not sure yet, but that would make sense. I need like proper armor, like plate or some sort of leather thing. I don't know. And it's funny, multiple people linked us to this website. It was Varian and Twitch. And there's this thing. And I just try to ignore the price and I'll try and explain why I'm thinking about doing it, right? So this is what I'm planning on getting. It's a LARPing outfit, right? And there is a more expensive one. I'll show you that, I guess. Why it's good is because it's blue. It's my thing, right? It's obviously blue. It's simple. So we have the metal gauntlet things, the glove things, the braces, whatever you want to call them. We have the shoulders that look sick and the chest thing. And then you've got the tabard, the blue tabard that goes all the way down. And, you know, there's no helmet or anything like that, which is good because I want to be able to breathe. One thing about the Deathstroke mask is that shit made it hard to breathe. And you had one eye hole, so it was disorientating and would give you a headache after a while. It is very expensive. So I was really on the fence about it. And Josh is trying to, like, convince me to do it, and I am thinking about it, because at the end of the day, when I think about it, the Deathstroke outfit, let's think about that was like, I don't know, all the different pieces of armor, SWAT vest piece and the belts and the fucking straps, the weapons that I got and made for my terrible shitty silver sword thing I had. I ended up spending probably around £70 or £80, I would say. And the mask was like £90. So that's just under £200 I spent on a costume and cosplay or whatever that wasn't that good. And I just looked like a random SWAT guy most of the time. So instead of doing that and spending a fair amount of money anyway, I have this awesome weapon and this opportunity. I could just buy that and then build a strap, you know, whatever, for the sword and put that down my back so that the handle comes over like the side of my head and around my shoulder, and I could just pull it out when I want to and put it back in when I want to. And it would actually look good because it's this blue theme. The shoulders look good. It's fine. It's just, it is a lot of money for an armor set. But another way I'm convincing myself, right, is you have this wall behind me. So on this wall here, there's like a bunch of posters, and I'm going to have more. Then behind me on this side, there's this blank red wall that looks shit. I could get like some sort of thing that could hold the armor, like the shoulder piece and the gloves and the tabard, and have it like on the wall and then the sword next to it, like hanging on the wall. Or maybe just like have the sword hanging on the wall and like get like an armor stand of some kind and have that in a corner somewhere or in the background. And it would be, one, a cool background for you guys, and two, make the room really cool and help convince me to spend so much money on a fucking armor thing. So this is the light version, which is the tabard and just the gauntlets for £100. That's fucking outrageous. Then you have the medium version, which is like a compromise where you have like the shoulders and the hand and the tabard and all that, and I think that looks good. And then you have the, my god, look at that, the black ice heavy armor. It's absolutely mental. You get the tabard, right? You get the fucking glove parts, but on top of that, you get this ridiculous chest piece, and it covers part of your legs. You get the leg armor and the boot armor as well. And the fucking, I think you get the helmet as well, or do you not? Do you not get the helmet with that? The helmet doesn't come with it for £475, and you don't get the helmet with it. Are you kidding me? Jesus. How do you get the helmet? Show me the price of that helmet. I want to see. So this is the helmet that you would get to go with the ice set, I guess, which is £100. So £575 to get the full armor set. Go fuck yourself. No way. So maybe you understand a little bit more now why I was considering the Jesus, the prices of these. That's outrageous. I see what you're going for with this, dude. I do. It's a little bit more full armor, like the chest piece and whatnot. It's obviously more expensive, but I actually prefer the blue. I know there's less to it, but I actually prefer the blue one. I think it suits me more. And sure, my weapon is black and would suit that armor set, but I think I prefer the ice one, to be honest with you. So next, let's talk about Overwatch. My history with Overwatch has been a little bit weird, is the way I would describe it. So obviously, like most people, when this game was announced, it was kind of a big deal, right? It was Blizzard's first new IP, and what was it, 17 years? Such a long time. And then eventually, after the announcement, I think it was like a month or something later, they put up the closed beta, didn't they? And the people that were in the closed beta were usually big YouTubers and big streamers. And as everyone who wanted to play the game we were all kind of salty and jealous, right? We really wanted to play the game for our own fucking reason, to play the game, to enjoy the game. It looked really, really good, dude. It looked great. But as a YouTuber, you know, remember this is my full-time job. This is a big deal. If I got into this beta, like day one or very near to day one, started streaming it and doing YouTube videos on it, I would have been probably very successful in terms of views. It's just that, you know, you have to think like this eventually at some point. If this is what you do as your full-time job, it is ultimately important to consider things like this. And getting into that beta would have been a big deal for me. And I got a DM or whatever on Twitter from someone from a PR team or PR company that Blizzard had actually hired to find people who would be suitable to cover the game and basically put in the beta. And I was lucky enough to be on that list of people to be put into the beta. This was a huge fucking deal. I was going to be in the beta early. We never got put in the fucking beta. They never put us in the beta. Blizzard never actually flagged the accounts for beta. So we were just like sat there twiddling our thumbs, supposed to be in the beta, told we were meant to be in the beta, but never in it. And who knows why, for some reason, even though I was meant to be in the beta, I wasn't in the beta and I wasn't in it for fucking ages. So that main period where everyone gave a shit about Overwatch, like a big deal, like it was a big deal and lots of people were watching it, it passed. So as a YouTuber and as someone who this fucking matters to, I didn't get in at the crucial time. And because I am a YouTuber and because I was on that list, I did get in early. I did get to play the game much earlier than a lot of people, and I was in the closed beta. And that was amazing for me. I fucking loved the game. It was really fun, but I did miss that crucial time, which is unfortunate, but it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not a big YouTuber. I kind of expected it, and I got hyped up and excited when it seemed like I was actually going to be in it when I wasn't, which is a shame. But whatever, you know, you move on from it. I got to play the game early. That was a fucking big deal, dude. That was awesome. Before long, you know, as I've made a video on this and explained it, I got kind of bored. You know, before long, I didn't enjoy the game anywhere near as much as I was expecting to. And the reason for that is because it's a team-based game. It's a game designed to play with friends and with a team. And solo queuing just, it doesn't work. You know, it's fine for a time, and if you enjoy it, you know, fair enough, go ahead. It's your life, your choices, your opinion. End of the day, you're different to me. You know, you do you basically. But personally, my opinion is that it's not a game designed to be played by yourself. It's not a game designed to be solo queued. It's a team game to play with friends. And since I was in the closed beta and all of my friends weren't in the game and weren't in the beta, I didn't get to play the game the way it was supposed to be played. And so I ended up kind of like disliking the game and expecting to not like it. And that's kind of how I logicked it out. I realized, hang on, it's a team shooter designed to be played with friends and a team. So maybe I'll like it if I play with friends. So I bought the game, and it turned out to be exactly that, in my opinion. It was awesome. I have a really good time playing Overwatch, and I've kind of fallen in love with it. And that's why I started doing the lore bites on Overwatch. Now, lore bite isn't specifically an Overwatch show or thing. The beauty of lore bite is that it can be on any game. It doesn't have to be on anything. I plan immediately to do it on Dark Souls and Overwatch to start with. And I might delve into other games as well before long once the series is established. But for now, it's Overwatch and Dark Souls. So that's why you're seeing me actually doing Overwatch videos, despite originally saying, hang on, I don't think Overwatch is that good. Because I changed my opinion. I think it's a really fun team shooter. But why I bring this up and why I wanted to talk about it now is because ranked is just around the corner. And the reason that I play the game right now is kind of like casual fun with friends. And as a guy who usually is pretty competitive and plays the ranked versions of games and whatnot and takes it seriously and tries to be generally above average as a gamer, I know that I'll take it seriously, and I know it's going to change from being just casual fun with friends to not playing with certain people who won't fit the group or fit into the right, like, I don't know, skill bracket or whatever, and all that shit will happen because ranked is coming. And we're probably going to primarily start playing ranked instead of just casual quick play. So the game is going to change, and it's going to be different. It's going to be something that I might not like again. And I wanted to ask you guys, how are you feeling about ranked? Do you think it's going to be good for the game and good for you? Do you think it's going to be something you're going to enjoy and actually care about? Or is it going to be something that might ruin your experience? Like, you're going to stop playing with certain friends because they're not that good or good enough. Or at one point, they're not in the right bracket of MMR or whatever. They're like, you're 100 rated, they're 50. You don't want to play with 50 rated. You want to play with 100 rated, so you don't play with that friend. You know, shit like that does happen. It's happened loads of times with ranked systems, and it's kind of lame. I think the beauty of Overwatch is that you'll be able to play quick play easily and chill and play with your friends when you want to. But primarily, I feel like a lot of people are going to focus on ranked. Unless it's shit. Like, unless ranked turns out to be shit. It's a team-based shooter. What if the ranked mode is awful? What if, like, not having multiple of the same hero? I'm not sure if that's a thing, but it should be. What if that turns out to be a negative and not as fun? What if the ranked version doesn't do well, you know? God, it's a lot of what-ifs with Overwatch ranked, and I don't know how it's going to go down. But what I will say is that I recently started taking it a bit more seriously, the game, instead of just chilling and playing it for my own personal enjoyment and not caring about winning or losing. While playing with friends, I started to do something with my friends where basically we're picking heroes in a team comp based on what map we're on, based on what the enemy are picking, and then during the game as well, changing what characters that we play as well. So we swap to counter what they're using. And basically we're taking it quite serious, and our win rates have skyrocketed, obviously, because of that. But on top of that, I've actually found myself having a lot more fun. Like, I've been enjoying playing the game casually and not caring about winning or losing, which is a fresh experience for me as a competitive person, right? But it's been really, really good. I've actually really, really enjoyed taking it seriously and doing these comp setups and countering what the enemy are doing. It's been a pleasure doing it. I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy it anywhere near as much in ranked if we start losing a lot, for example. If we reach a certain MMR bracket, and when you have to stop playing with certain friends and stuff like that. I don't know where it's going to go. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. Like, I think it could easily go one way or the other, but for me, Overwatch has been a roller coaster where I've been like, holy shit, Overwatch, this is amazing. Finally playing it. Holy shit, Overwatch, this is fucking amazing. Get tired of solo playing it and not enjoying it. And then enjoying the game when it was released and playing with friends casually. And then taking it seriously and trying to do a serious thing. And then ranks coming out. It's like, it's been good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's been all over the fucking place, as Overwatch for me. What do you think? Do you think Overwatch Ranked is going to be a good or bad thing for the game? Are you excited about it, or are you concerned about it? I think when you're at lower levels at Ranked, we will still have the fun and exciting feeling, and at the same time be a bit serious. But I think once you get to a top rank, it will start feeling less fun and more serious. So depending on what you're looking for, whether it is to have more fun or be more serious, whatever you get more fun out of, sort of like the ranking in Hearthstone. Yeah, but less RNG. I think I'm excited for Overwatch's Ranked. I think that's the consensus, I feel, the end result. I think Overwatch Ranked is going to be interesting, and if nothing else, I'll definitely enjoy it for at least a week, even if it's an experience that I won't enjoy after that. But I am excited about it, and I am definitely willing to try it. And because of the fact that I've been taking it a little bit more serious recently, I think there's definitely a very good chance that I'll like it a lot more than I thought I would. The final topic that I want to talk about, since we're talking about a few Warcraft characters in Warcraft film, is the Warcraft books. I mentioned it when Will was talking to me through the window at the start of the stream. And basically, what it comes down to is that I have always enjoyed reading. From a young age, I've done it all through my life, and I love reading. enter a new world and you see things in your mind that you otherwise never would. These things are really hard to create in film visually or TV shows. Usually you lose a lot of the magic that is there in the books. You get a cool visual representation of something you love, but at a cost. For example, the Aragon books are amazing, but the Aragon film was dog shit. Example. So Warcraft. I love reading, and I love reading tons of stuff, but as a guy who loves the Warcraft universe, as a guy who is interested and invested in it, played all the games, learned all the lore from the games, I never read a single Warcraft book. I've never once read a single Warcraft book. The books that describe the first war, the second war, the third war, the books that describe Illidan versus the Lich King and how the Lich King came to be. God. Oh, ding. Level 16. Sweet. I never read any of these. The War of the Ancients with Illidan and how he became a demon. And the Sunwell and all of that. Like, there is so much to read and discover and learn. And I never read any of it. And I wanted to know, is there anyone here in chat who's actually read any of the Warcraft books? Like, there's a lot. Like, there's the Garrosh ones to explain why he did what he did, and his trials, the trial of Garrosh. The recent one about Illidan and how he's coming back for Legion. There's just really tons of books out there that I've never read. And the reason that I've sort of never read them is because I kind of know the lore. I know the story, I know the main themes, and I know the main characters, and a lot of side characters actually as well. And I know it all from playing the games. I know it from experiencing it through the games I played. But in books, compared to a film or a movie, you see greater detail, and there's a lot there that isn't rushed or wasted. The traveling and the characters, and you actually see what the character's thinking. Instead of having to work out what a character's thinking, it's literally said in the book what they're thinking. So you get a lot more out of the characters as well when you read about them. So really, I have no idea why I've never read them, and that's why I wanted to ask, has anyone here read any of the Warcraft books? I know the stories, I know the lore, and I worry that the books aren't like the greater detail and refined versions of the story. What I worry is that it might end up being something I read and it's just like listing off a bunch of events that happened that I already know, and therefore not worth it to me at all to read, and not worth it to me because it wouldn't be an enjoyable experience. It would just be learning and rereading what I already know. Is it a proper story? Is it properly described? And do you learn about the characters properly as well? Compared to just like, I don't know, a list of events that happen. Even if you played the games, it's still worth it. There are so many little details you would miss out on otherwise. What you don't want is chronicles, because that's just a list of the events. It's still great for lore nerds. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would consider myself a lore nerd, so something to consider, sure. But thanks for letting me know. Like, what I'm looking for first, anyway, is the story and the characters, character development, and the greater descriptions and, you know, backstory. Really. You know, I used to do this. Like, when I first played World of Warcraft, I used to have to go find a bed and, like, do the /sleep in it. Like this. I used to have to legitimately do this before I would log out, thinking it was important. Then again, I was like, what? 10 or 11 or something. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's Let's Talk, the second one we've ever done. This one was really great. The new layout, it definitely needs refining, but I like the idea. I think it works better having Warcraft a little bit smaller to indicate the gameplay is definitely not an important aspect of the video or stream. Having chat on screen was good as well. It might need resizing and fixing a little bit. And this, I like the lower part actually. You know, they ask me anything part, the donations and where the pop-ups are coming and the little references to my other social media stuff. I like it a lot. It's not on the gameplay at all. So I like that. Few things to refine for next time, but I enjoyed the topics today. I enjoyed what you guys brought to the stream, and of course a huge amount of support. Thank you so much. We'll be doing another Let's Talk next week on Thursday, so look out for that. And I will see you next time, guys. Goodbye.